Yo, what's up guys? Today I wanted to bring you Monarch Baiken's showcase. I'm actually really stupid because I pulled Monarch on her and I just did not record it. I literally was thinking, oh, I have like 500 rerolls. Let me record it. I didn't record it because I'm stupid, but maybe I should just recreate the reaction. Here you go. I'll recreate it and put it on screen for you guys. Oh my god, no way. No way. No way. No.
I am going to remind you in advance that I'm very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not keeping up.
What do you mean by that?
Alright, so now that you've seen how crazy I went over that, let's jump into evolving her. I have all her stats at Z+, so we are going to get the maximum damage and everything we can get from her. This grind was horrible. Genuinely, this might be one of the worst grinds I think in the game. So if you are going to go evolve her, just be wary of that. It's not a super fun and enjoyable grind, but here we go. We're gonna evolve her, and here she is. She's got Z+ everything. We got Monarch on her. She's looking fire. I love it. Her damage jumps up a lot. Obviously, you cannot ascend her since she's a secret, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so now that we've evolved her, I'm gonna show you guys her passive and her abilities. She is Unbound Element, which I hope gets buffed later on. It's not really that great of a passive. Compared to all these new passives, they're amazing, and Unbound kind of sucks. So it's really not that great, but she has 3 passives, so this is going to be a lot of reading. So let's start off with the first one. We have 2-3-6P. Anytime this unit is attacked or inflicted with a status, effect, or debuff, it will perform a counter for 20% of its damage. So that means whatever her max damage is, this counter will do 20% of that damage. And this counter can trigger Tethered, which is one of her abilities, which we're not going to get into yet. But the next part of this passive is for PvP only. So if you guys are running PvP, make sure you bring Baiken. She's amazing in it. But it says PvP only. This unit can counterattack enemy units, reflecting status effects back onto them. And this does not count as an attack. So that means it won't shield break or anything like that. That means if your Baiken gets statused or something, you can just reflect it back. And they get stunned or something, you can reflect it back. They get their damage lowered, you can reflect it back, so on and so on. You guys get it. Her next passive is Tethered, which any attack this unit makes is immediately followed up by her 5th attack. Any enemy that this unit attacks is inflicted with Tethered and become tethered to this unit. Tethered enemies share 0.1% of the damage any of them take and are slowed by 20%. Tethered breaks when the enemy leaves this unit's range. So if you don't understand how that works, she has an unique mechanic, just her, called Tethered, which basically when she hits someone with this ability, they all become tethered together. So that means she can tether like 20 people together. I think maybe it caps out at 5 or something like that, but theoretically it could go to 20. So let's just say you have 20 people tethered together. That means when you hit the main guy or you just hit anyone, everyone else who's tethered to that guy gets slowed and they take 0.1% of that damage you dealt. So it is a crazy amount of damage. And also keep a note, it says at the start, any attack this unit makes is immediately followed up by an attack 5. So that means take her attack stat. If her attack stat looks low, double it, because that means every time she attacks, she's doing 2 attacks. So that is insane. And then her last passive is called Tatamani Gesh. Anytime a tethered enemy dies in this unit's range, this unit performs an attack 1 where that enemy died. So that means she'll do her first attack where that enemy died anywhere on the route. And then she has another PvP only ability. When a tethered enemy dies in this unit's range, this unit performs attack 1 on an enemy, stunning it for 10 seconds. And has a 20-second local cooldown. That means she'll do her attack 1 again on that stunned enemy, and then she will stun it, and then has a 20-second cooldown. So that's basically all of her passives. We have 2 abilities right here, which I'm going to touch on once we get in game. Also, before we jump into that, make sure you guys subscribe and like and comment and all that. I really appreciate it. The support genuinely does super help. It helps me get out there, it helps me make more videos. And if you are supporting and you're coming back to all my videos, I really do appreciate it. I wish there was a better way to show that. Maybe in the future I'll do a giveaway, who knows? But yeah, now let's jump into the showcase. Something I literally just realized is I'm not wearing my normal Mudkip avatar. Sorry about that. I completely forgot to put that back on for the video, but here we are in game. We're going to start the round and then place Baiken down. We're going to delete Gohan because I don't want him throwing down with her. But she's doing 19 5.25k on placement every 4 seconds, and then she has 26 range. You can see that she has a bar as well called tension. So I'm gonna place Gohan here, and I'm gonna turn on VFX real quick. Let's look at her first attack real quick. Let's go to spectate. Let's see what she does. Oh, keep in mind she repulses as well. That is something that's not in her passive for some reason, but she repulses, which is crazy. So she does a slam and then pushes back, which is pretty cool. Keep in mind she's doing her follow-up as well. But she has 2 abilities, so let's take a look. She has Hidden Chain, which is switch between 2 chain style and chain club style. The current one we're on right now, which is Chain Club, repulses people. And then if we swap real quick, we have Chain Claw, which attacks attached enemies for 4 seconds. Attached enemies cannot leave this unit's range, which is absolutely crazy. So basically, if you need to stall with this unit, you're doing the new Legend Stage Act 4, right? And you're dying and you're getting absolutely cooked. If you throw her down right before the end of the map, she can tether the boss and he can't leave for 4 seconds. You get 4 more seconds of damage. Amazing, great, always good. And then obviously you could switch back at any time to the repulse one, which is super great. It's just like Toji, if you guys have ever used him. And then she has a second ability called Get Over Here, which has a 200-second cooldown. It says consumes 2 bars of meter to pull all attached enemies to the closest position on the track to this unit. So that means everyone who's attached and tethered to you, if you use this Get Over Here ability, it will pull all of them back to her. So that means, let's just say over here, there's enemies right over here, they're running away from her. If you pop this ability, they'll all get pulled straight back to her. Same for up here. If she tethers someone up here, they're gonna get pulled right to her. So that could be a double-edged sword, I could see, but it's super great regardless. So first upgrade, she's jumping up to 23k. It's not super expensive. We'll do that upgrade. Then she jumps up to 26k. Not a super big damage leap. It's still kind of expensive. I'm not gonna lie, she's not a super cheap unit. In my mind, she's definitely a unit you just throw down near the start of the game so she can start building up her tension bar, and then you just kind of forget about her until it's time to upgrade her. Her next upgrade though jumps her up to 30k. She does 4.7 second. This upgrade is 4.7k. Keep in mind too that this damage might look low, but she's also doing her 5th attack every time she attacks, which her 5th attack is right here. We'll get there obviously. And that passive is not locked behind getting upgrade 5. You just have that off a drop. So she's up to 30k now every 4 seconds. And then she gets her 5th attack, which is Cannon Shot, where you're going to buy this as a spectator real quick. She switches to a cone, which is kind of interesting. Let's see it again one more time. She pulls out like a little Glock, and then she throws her chain ball. Super great. I love the animations for this update. They're actually all amazing. So she's doing 48k every 5.6 seconds. It jumps up to 50k every 5.6 seconds. And boom, just like that, she's already had her next attack called Blade Rush. We're going to buy that. She becomes a line. And let's see her use it. Is she going to use it anytime soon? All right, there you go. She just does like a giant slash. I wonder how many hits that is. That looked like it was just 1 hit, but it's a pretty fat line. I'm not a big fan of line AoEs, so I'm not too hype about this, but she's doing 57k every 6.4 seconds. Next upgrade is 10k. She jumps up to 69k every 6.4 seconds with a 43 range. Next upgrade after that is 11k. She's doing 80k on upgrade right here. She's doing 80k every 6.4 seconds with a 46 range. And then she finally gets her final attack right here, which, sorry about that, I had to deal with the boss right there, but her next attack, she jumps up to 86k. She's back on a pretty big cone, and then she has a 4.8 second SPA. We're gonna spectate her real quick just so we can see this attack. Here, let's see her do it again. Right here. So she slashes, and then she does like her ultimate, I'm pretty sure, from Guilty Gear, where she just does a moon thing. Here, let's see the text as well. That is sick. That is really, really cool. And then her final upgrade brings her up to 96k every 4.8 seconds. That may look really, really mid, but she's literally doing double her damage. She's just like Gogeta, where she's doing double her damage. At least I'm pretty sure that's how that works from me reading it. So 96k times 96k jumps up to 192,000 damage, which is crazy amount of damage. I'm gonna start buffing her now, actually. So let's get Hakarin down. Get Hakarin all done here. I think she is done. Yeah, okay, she's done. She's up to 113k, and then with that, let's go get Sobru. We're going to start maxing him out. Yep, so he should be fully maxed out, and that brings her up to 132k. So now her damage is looking very, very impressive. So something I do want to try is her getting over it ability. So let's just pop it right here. Let's see. Get over here. Oh, there you go. You just see she just pulled her units in. I couldn't really see the attack because she performed an attack at the exact same time, but all the units got pulled to her. Let's put her on first so she kills these guys real quick, but all the units got pulled to her. That is sick. And you can't really, maybe my graphics have it off or something, but you can't really see the tethered effect, but you can see all their shields are getting broken even though no one's attacking. That's because of the tether. That is really sick. If you're looking for someone to run with her as well, Elfont is actually insane to run with her. Here, let's put her on, because Elfont's passive, this top part right here, anytime a video game character is used. So that means in the future, if they ever do a Persona update, this character is still going to be crazy meta. But they said anytime a video game character uses their meter or gauge, increases their damage by 30% for one attack. So that means she's giving Baiken a 30% attack buff every time I use my meter, which is super great to see. That is a very good buff. You can see it just popped right there. Wow, you can really abuse that with Baiken, because it resets on attack, right? You could just keep swapping and then refreshing the cooldown. That is really, really nice. I do like that. But that basically sums up the Monarch Baiken showcase. I wish you guys luck if you're trying to get her. I'm not gonna make it feel better, but it's a super hard grind. It is very annoying. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's also super buggy, so that's one of the reasons it was really annoying for me. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. See you.